Greetings, Joseph Kursky here with you. Let's create your own map from field data. Now, to build your own map with the same type of data that was used for the Chaparral hike that you examined earlier, you will use a GPX file from the Motion X GPS app. Let's go ahead and leave that Chaparral hike open in a web browser because you will return to it in a bit. But to create your own map from field data that has been generated in the field using a smartphone app, go ahead and navigate to the folder where you have stored the data that you've downloaded for this component. A teachable moment here is to strengthen your students' data management skills, being thoughtful about the name of the folder where they are storing data, the name of the file, and the file type. Note that one of the files you downloaded earlier is called My Motion X GPS Tracked Piccadilly Station. Spatial technology is able to input and output a wide variety of data types, file types. To help focus attention on file type, make sure that the extensions are made visible in whatever operating system you are in, so that you'll be able to see that it's a GPX file versus a TXT file versus XLS file, a JPEG, etc. You want to be able to see the full name of the file extension. Now, don't open the file because you'll be shortly making a map with it in ArcGIS Online. Return to the Browser tab where your existing ArcGIS Online map that contains the hike in the Chaparral to 34 North, 117 West exists. To add a layer to this map, you'll need to select Modify Map in the upper right. Once you modify map, an Add button now appears to the upper left of the map. So you're modifying a map, and now that means you can add data to it. Yes! Use the Add Data button and add a layer from a file as shown here. Note the different types of files that you can add data from your local device to an ArcGIS Online map, keeping in mind that the platform changes and there may be more choices in the future. These types include a GPS file, output as a GPX XML file. Navigate on your computer to the folder where you have stored your Piccadilly Station GPX file. Select your GPX file to add it to the map. Done! Once you've added the Piccadilly Station file, it becomes a map layer. The map should zoom to the location of your newly added layer, and your new GPS track should appear in the list of the contents as a layer. If your map is not showing the location of your new GPS track, use the ellipses, the triple dots, next to your new layer and zoom to the layer. This is the same type of file that you examined for the Chaparral hike, but in this case, an actual physical GPS receiver was used instead of a smartphone app. Change the base map to imagery if it is not already an image base map. Notice the vast difference in the land cover here versus the Chaparral Hills in California. Now that you've added data to the map, you can save it into your own ArcGIS Online organizational account. Use the Save tool to save your map, naming it GTAV Mapping Field Data or some other suitable title, and providing some tags such as Field Work, California, England, GPX, and a description such as Mapping Field Data for GTAV Spatial Technology Module, so you can easily find it later. Now let's talk about spatial thinking, base maps, and bookmarks. If you are using this map in the classroom, consider asking your students to examine clues on the image to determine the type of building that is Piccadilly Station, located at the northeastern end of this walk. Change the base map to topographic and zoom out. Consider asking your students, what city is this in? What city is the walk to Piccadilly Station located? Use Track to Piccadilly Station and then the ellipses and then zoom to zoom back to the Piccadilly track. Use bookmarks to set a location here, a bookmark here, named Manchester, UK, and return to it later. In a similar way, zoom to the track 002 for the Chaparral Hills, and to the upper right of the map, go to Manage Bookmarks and set a bookmark there, called Yucaipa, California, USA, or Chaparral Hills. Bookmarks, therefore, are helpful shortcuts to use as you navigate around the planet in web maps. So use your bookmarks to zoom back to Piccadilly Station. Now let's change the symbology or style. Using the Contents tool, note that just as with the Chaparral data, the data for the Piccadilly Station walk is encoded as a point layer and a line layer. Using your spatial technology skills, see if you can determine how to change the symbology or style for the line to be yellow and the points to be orange. Hint, under Change Style, Options, Symbols is where you'll find that. Save your map to capture your latest additions and changes. After you do this, note that the first 4 points in your data table are associated with an elevation much lower than the rest of the data, as shown here. Which elevations are correct? Those 5 points that are less than 40 meters, or those 159 points that are just above 40 meters? Change the base map to topographic. Note that this layer does not provide elevation values. Therefore, in a separate component of this module, you're going to add an elevation layer to verify your data. Fortunately, the Living Atlas of the World, wonderful data set, Living Atlas of the World, contains hundreds of data layers for your use in education. Remember this resource for your future use of spatial technology, as it is one of the largest libraries of data and maps in existence. So, congratulations, you have mapped a GPX file from something that I collected in the field, and similarly, you could actually map your own GPX file, and other files for that matter, from your own field work. Thanks.